Hello, this is Michael with Field Tech Academy. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a conversation that I had with Jeff Novotny, the Director of Marketplace Provider Operations at Field Nation. We had a lengthy discussion, and so I have made 3 different videos out of our conversation. In this first video, Jeff and I are discussing how YouTube can actually serve as a tool to educate technicians. We discuss what technicians want, what technicians need, and struggles that new technicians face. Let's get into it.
I'm Jeff Novotny. I'm the Director of Marketplace Provider Operations here at Field Nation. I've been at Field Nation for a little over 2 years, but I've got about 25 years in the field service industry, managing technicians in both the telecom and the IT industries across the US, Canada, in a global environment. Excited to speak with you today, Michael, regarding Field Nation and the opportunities we have with providers joining our network.
My name is Michael Fiery, and I'm with Field Tech Academy. I am also a Field Nation provider. I've been on Field Nation since 2011, and I've done hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business on Field Nation. So I have several years of experience being an employer as well as a technician. I teach technicians about this industry because a lot of them don't even know the industry exists. So a lot of times
Right.
Field Nation is their first exposure to it.
I'm just fascinated by that medium and the use of YouTube and how folks get involved in it and provide the content that's out there. Because I'm a consumer of it.
Right.
Like I'm a consumer of whether I'm looking at field tech information or I'm just working on my truck. I
Right.
consume the information that's out there and I love it.
That's been so funny. Like on some of my videos, you'll get the haters that'll comment and they'll be like, anybody that gets their information from some YouTube channel doesn't deserve to be a tech. And I'm like, this is the new world.
That's the information sharing. You're absolutely right. That's how you knowledge share. And that's the network. That's the beauty of networking. And actually, that is probably a great way to start and talk about how really what we're talking about are just networks of relationships and networks of talent and networks of knowledge. You obviously are diving into the network of knowledge with your channel. And what is Field Nation? What do techs need in just in general in the industry? And we have a network of, as a marketplace, of buyers and providers, and how do we connect those? And I think everything is really just getting into those networks and just kind of exploring them. So I use the network again as for knowledge as well.
Mhm.
The YouTube network, it enhances my life at work. It enhances my life at home. I even use it for my technical skill set, like even Excel spreadsheets. Like I go
Right.
out there and I learn how to do Excel. So does that mean I'm not a good business acumen because I have to go to YouTube to figure out how to write this complex formula? No, I'm just learning. So I certainly do appreciate you, and I certainly appreciate you taking the time to do this. I think this is a win-win for Field Nation and for you, and actually all the techs out there that are trying to get into the industry and learn and figure out, how to get into the industry, how to survive in the industry, and how to grow their business in the industry. I think this is a fantastic way to do this. So, all right, Michael. So as we start talking about the providers that are out there in Field Nation, I am very curious from your perspective. I know you talk to a lot of techs a lot of times. As we talk about what techs, as they approach the marketplace, what do you feel like they need to know? First of all, what do techs want out of the marketplace? And then what do they maybe need to know to access the marketplace and be successful in it? Is there any kind of high level themes or things that you hear from techs?
Well, I feel like a lot of the techs, especially the new techs, really struggle with getting tickets up front. They'll come into the platform and they'll bid on tickets and they'll bid on tickets and they feel like they're not getting any tickets assigned to them. And I'm sure that's hard, even, because I try to think of it from the buyer perspective too. Because I've been a buyer in the past. I used to have a national network of technicians before OnForce and Field Nation and all these platforms existed. And I built that up, and it's always a question of, can I trust this tech to do the job? Can I trust that they'll show up? I mean, that's always the first thing. Will they even show up? So from a buyer perspective, I'm sure it makes them a little nervous to assign a ticket to a tech they've never seen before, has no ratings, and they can tell is new. But of course, then on the flip side, a new technician is trying to get established. So it's a catch-22. You've got both sides of the equation. The guy, I think that the technician is just trying to get out there to make either maybe some extra money or hopefully get themselves established where they can make a living off of Field Nation and in this industry.
That's interesting. I know from our perspective, we see techs coming in, and I would say probably the biggest theme for the providers that are signing up is they're absolutely hungry for the work. They want the work, they want the experience, they want how do I fast track to get the experience that I need to build my customer relationships, my customer network. I know it can be frustrating right out of the gate when they're starting because they want to start at the top. Everybody wants to start at the top, but you have to build that momentum. I mean, we've seen some best practices that have been successful of taking some smaller jobs, some less lucrative jobs just to get your name out there, to start to build your reputation, to establish your quality work history. And then you can kind of start to move your scope of work, your complexity of job to the right a little bit. With that also comes potentially even more lucrative jobs, more complex jobs, and bigger customers and bigger names. And it just kind of snowballs after that. But that getting started can be frustrating for sure for tech. So is that kind of a common theme that you hear? Do techs have trouble getting a foothold and started?
I think that is probably the number one thing that I hear because I follow a Field Nation group in Reddit, and of course, text comment on my videos. The biggest thing is I can't get those first few jobs. And so I've kind of, even one of my videos went into trying to say, like what you just mentioned, what do you need to do? Go after jobs that other techs don't want. And that can be jobs that don't pay as well because, like you said, everybody wants to start at the top, but you're coming into the platform, nobody knows you, you don't have a reputation. So you have to think of it more as a marathon instead of a sprint. And so you've got to take that crummy little $25 job. You've got to take a job that's maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away that nobody else wants to drive to. You've got to make those sacrifices on the front end to establish yourself, to establish your reputation. And of course, the next step in that is to actually do the job, do it well, and get yourself a rating from the buyer by being excellent. That takes time. It's not going to be a fast process.
I agree. I think patience is key right up front. I think another key is really put some investment in marketing yourself, making sure that your profile is fully up to date and accurate and easy to read, professional pictures, and when you're requesting work, professional outreaches, perhaps even in the messages that market yourself to try and catch the attention of buyers. I would also suggest that maybe for your profile, making sure you're aligned with industry requirements that are out there. There's a lot of demand for the right licenses, the right certifications, and making sure those are uploaded and accurate on your profile. Hey, Michael, great talking to you, brother.
Good talking to you.
Take care, sir.
I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video with Jeff Novotny and I. If you're interested in signing up with Field Nation, visit their website at fieldnation.com. If you got value today, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to visit my website at fieldtechacademy.com. I have some digital downloads that can help strengthen your Field Nation profile. I also offer one-on-one coaching. I can assist you with getting started on Field Nation or having better results. As always, let's get you out in the field making money. I'll see you in the next video.